Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. The rematch takes place this Saturday. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do believe Daniel Dubois should have won that first fight. I do think Alexander Usyk was milking it a little bit with that low shot. I personally don't think it was a low blow. I think it landed cleanly on the belt. I've seen the video in slow-mo. I've seen the video numerous amounts of times. And there's nothing anyone can do or say to change my opinion on that. I do believe Daniel Dubois landed cleanly. However, Usyk got the win in that fight. And to be completely honest, Daniel Dubois did actually do quite well against Usyk. And going into this rematch, I do feel like it is Daniel Dubois' time to shine. I do believe he has the power and the skills to beat Usyk. I do feel as if Usyk, he's had two draining fights against Tyson Fury back to back. And he's how old now? 38. He's at the later stages of his career. Don't get me wrong. This is not me taking anything away from Alexander Usyk. He still potentially can win, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does win. But I just feel as if it's Daniel Dubois' time. You know, he's been putting in the work for years. He wasn't really getting a lot of recognition. Everyone was kind of overlooking him because he didn't really have that much of a personality. But he has been one of those fighters that, although they don't have the personality and, you know, the bravado and the showmanship and whatnot, he has been one of those people that has let his craft, his fighting do the talking. That's what has got him to where it has gotten him to. And there's just, see what some people need to understand when it comes to this fighting game. Sorry guys, my hay fever has been playing up a lot recently. But when it comes to this fighting game, there's guys that are very, very outspoken, you know, and they'll captivate a lot of people's attention. They'll get a lot of fans drawn into them. And then there's other guys that just do the work, man. They're just silently working, chipping away. And the real core fans do see, they will see that and notice that. And just because you might not necessarily be the loudest talker or the most outspoken doesn't mean you can't get to the top of the sport. Because look at Daniel Dubois. And the funny thing is, he's from Greenwich. That's where I'm from. I'm from Greenwich. I've never actually seen Daniel Dubois when he was growing up. And I did later find out that he was homeschooled, I believe. I've seen Daniel Dubois once in my life in Greenwich. It would have been good to have seen him in the manor, you know. But listen, I have to support Daniel Dubois. He comes from, as I would say at the ends, the manor, and, you know, same age as me. And listen, I take inspiration from people, and that just shows me that, you know, if you put in the work, you can get to where you need to get to. So shouts out to Daniel Dubois, you know, for sticking to his plan and being true to himself, you know, and not listening to the haters and the critics saying, oh, he has no personality, he's boring, this, that, and the other. He let his fight and do the talking. And he fights well, and he knocks people out. And he's exciting. So he doesn't really need to do much talking, do you know what I mean? And on the flip side, we have Alexander Usyk, who's another guy who hasn't really, he's not the most outspoken, but when he does speak, he makes people laugh. And, you know, he draws people in with his, what's the words I'm looking for? With his banter, because he is a funny guy. Strange, peculiar, you know, and people, you know, people will call people weird, yeah, other people weird, but I'm telling you, that's what draws people in and makes people, because no one's normal, but everyone thinks they're normal. But when they see someone like Usyk act the way they act, it's like, oh, I relate to you, it's normal, do you know what I mean? And Usyk is another person who has actually gotten to the top from just working hard. Very, very good fighter. Skill set is probably one of the best skill sets in the modern era of boxing. And listen, Usyk, very good fighter, but I personally do think he has a weakness. And I did see a post the other day and I reposted it on my story because everybody always wants to go on about, oh, this person's the best in the world, this person is unbeatable. But the truth of the matter is, most people focus on people's strengths. Everybody has a weakness. Every single human being has a weakness. Same as in boxing. Every boxer has a weakness. Same as mixed martial arts. It's for you to find that person's kryptonite and use it against them. That's why people do extensive hours of film study. And one of Usyk's weaknesses that we've seen in quite a few of his fights is he doesn't like getting hit to the body. That's fact. As much as he might not admit that, and you wouldn't expect him to admit that, because why am I going to tell you that's my weakness so every fighter can use that against me? But with that being said, he does get hurt to the body. He doesn't like getting hit to the body. When he fought Dubois the first time, that was not a low blow. Don't get me wrong, he has the skill set to go and beat Dubois again. But I just think the way Dubois fights, I just feel like it's his time, and I feel like he is going to land some shots that will hurt Usyk. And I do feel like Dubois is going to be in Usyk's face quite a lot, and he's going to have Usyk moving quite a lot. I just think it's Dubois' time, guys. That's just my opinion. I kind of want to pick Dubois by knockout. But then again, because Usyk hasn't been stopped, I don't want to say that. But I do genuinely believe it is Dubois' time. So guys, don't shoot me. Don't fucking, call me delusional. Because I know some people in the comments are going to call me delusional. You know what I mean? Because I've been getting it on my TikTok and some of my videos. But I'm going Daniel Dubois by TKO. Not knockout, technical knockout. I think he will land some shots to the body, land some good shots to the head. To be honest, I do feel like, though, in this fight, if Dubois is going to win by TKO, it's going to be maybe between round 4 and round 6. If it goes past round 6, I think Usyk is going to be able to, get the job done and do it on points. That's just my opinion. But I'm picking Daniel Dubois to win by TKO. I have to stick with my local man. And with that being said, to be fair, if it does go to a decision, I don't think Dubois wins that on points. You're not going to outpoint Usyk. So Dubois' best chance of winning is to get the TKO. And I do think he's not going to hunt for it, but I do think he's going to push for it. So like I said, guys, I'm picking Daniel Dubois to win. Comment your predictions below. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.